our first team representing Argentina. Team captain Sebastian Gutierrez, Nicole Fasa-Huego, Guido Andreossi, Marco Trungaletti, Maria Lourdes Calais, Solena Sierra and Sebastian Baez. And their opponents for today's session, representing Spain, team captain Miguel Sanchez, Yvonne Caballé Ramirez, Inigo Cervantes, Andrea Lorazo Garcia, Carlos Tabanir, Jessica Buzez Manero, and Jaume Munar. If you are able, please be upstanding for the national anthems of Argentina and Spain.
Anthems complete. And the two teams will come to the net and wish each other all the best for this encounter. It's their first meeting at the United Cup between Spain and Argentina. Both teams haven't been able to advance from their group stage, but they'll have a tough task this year as well, up against the #1 seeds, the USA. Tell by the smiles on the faces that they're all happy to be here and get their season underway, which is nice to see. Team zones in operation. You'll see most of the team take their place in supporting their teammates. Singles players will duck off out the back to finalise their warm-up as the match commences, but a bit of an advantage at the other end. Team Spain in the sunshine. Argentina at the southern end here. A little more cover, but that's a very big umbrella, Fitzio.
Bigger than last year?
I think so.
Yeah.
I think so, and I'd like to have one of those at home because they are. It's an enormous apparatus, that's for sure. Have a look at there. It is. It's superb.
Yeah, you can hang yourself from that and jump, come down slowly.
Yeah. Yes, you could absolutely use that as a parachute. Sebastian Baez, as we talked about, he's had a career high of 18 in the world. We'll see their bios in a moment when they come out to commence their warm-up, but you mentioned his birthday last week, and so he's achieved all of those things at 24 years of age, and he's in that sort of area of his ranking where there can be some oscillation because of the points that you drop off, and it's a complicated point system, but you defend the points that you've had success, and sometimes that means that your ranking can have some wild swings. He's currently 43, but he's a better player than world number 43.
Well, when you've won 7 ATP Tour titles, David, that speaks a lot to me. It's one of the most important stats. If you're good enough to win an ATP Tour singles title, you're a serious player. He's won 7, and this young man, his opponent today, Jaume Munar, he's at his career best as we speak.
And he's been stable at that sort of, inside the top 50, but he's currently number 33 in the world. So it's a good matchup for both of them. Similar, they've got a big task when they take on Taylor Fritz as the round robin element of this competition. Good test. Jaume Munar, the chair umpire here, welcoming the players on court.
Say hello, Sebastian, as well. Okay, gentlemen, good luck. Normally staff know about it. Just a reminder, we have a net machine, we have electronic line calling and video review. You are aware of the free movement policy as well. For the boxes, it's marked already with your flag inside. Ball kids will not be able to give you the towel, so there is someone over there can help you with the bucket, with the box. Like he can give you the box, but he will not be able to touch.
Can I have one towel there or no?
Yeah, you can.
Yeah?
You can, but you will be taking the responsibility to go. The person helping on the other side.
Thanks.
Okay? We have a photo this way after the coin toss, and also this way, please. Okay. We have here Australian Open or a player? Player, please. Can you try to flip it up? Well done. Yes, player? You receive?
I'll see.
Okay, can I have a photo? Okay.
So the toss complete. And it gives us an opportunity to take a closer look at our two combatants here for this opening encounter. Tie between Spain and Argentina, and it is Sebastian Baez, the 25-year-old. We mentioned just recently celebrating his birthday. Currently number 43 in the world, has been at a career high of 18, but the 7 titles, 6 of them have come on clay. Two-time winner in Rio. 3 finals last year for 1 win. Made his ATP Tour debut in 2021, where he rocketed up the international stage. Lost in the semi-final of the next-gen tournament in 2021 to a handy player, Carlos Alcaraz. So he has had that experience. He's won a Youth Olympic Games doubles gold medal for his country, so he likes the team competition. He played at the Paris Olympic Games. And for Jaume Munar, 28 years of age, the right-hander, 33 in the world, currently a career high ranking for him. He's won 9 times on the Challenger circuit, but quarterfinals and semi-finals have been his thing. 3 times a semi-finalist in 2025. Best result of the Grand Slam is a 4th round at the US Open.
You'd have to know Rafa pretty well, wouldn't you? He's born in Mallorca. You know, when you're the stature of a player like Baez, David, it means that you're probably going to be playing a lot of your tennis at the back of the court. Not a tall man, about 5'7" in the old language, 170 odd in centimetres, and so it is hard to compete with the modern players from a power perspective. But he's a road runner. He won't miss. He's going to be a very difficult customer to actually beat, and that'll be his forte. You know, and that's enabled him to win 7 ATP Tour singles titles, mainly on clay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They've only had the one encounter on the ATP circuit. That was in Santiago in Chile in 2024. Baez straight sets winner. Miguel Sanchez, the captain for Spain. Sebastian Gutierrez, who is the coach of Baez, has the captain's hat on for Argentina. So we're not too far away from getting things underway here at the United Cup of 2026. Couple of final serves, no sunshine to worry about. It's coming from the left of screen on the court, opposite side to the team benches. But this is a beautiful arena, RAC Arena in Perth, multi-purpose stadium, hosts concerts and basketball, netball, and at this time of year it's a tennis tournament that has centre stage, and it's magnificent.
It's quite intimidating, actually. It might suit the Spanish player here. It's a little bit of like a bull ring. It goes up very sharply. It's high. It's an intimidating arena. There's huge capacity in here, and of course today not close to full right now, obviously, because we're just getting underway, but a lot of the crowd going to the shaded area, and most of it is. It's such a beautiful design. I love this stadium.
I do fear for Munar then, if that is the case, as the Matador in the red top, because Baez as the bull will be on the attack.
And choose to receive.
With this temperature, 33 degrees already. We just go past 10 a.m. local time, 10 past 10. So the sun comes up early. No daylight savings in Perth. It's a 3-hour time change to the eastern states of Australia. The sun rises early and beats down strongly until the sea breeze comes in later in the day. It does cool off in the afternoon, but this is almost peak heat early in the morning. What are you expecting, John, between this battle between two players that are pretty evenly ranked in terms of their current ranking, but as we've mentioned, the 7 titles for Baez does have him the favourite for mine.
Yeah, look, there's a lot of variables here. First match of the new year is probably the biggest question mark, because you never quite know how the season ends and then starts for these players. There's a very limited time frame between the end of last year and the beginning of this one. And the nerves are probably elevated a little bit when it's the first match for a while, possibly for a month. They're evenly matched, David.
So Baez won the toss, elected to receive. So it'll be Jaume Munar who commences action for 2026. As they say, ready, play. So we have the live electronic line calling, of course. It's been a feature for a number of years now since COVID. No line judges, but
I think it
double call.
I think it just repeated itself.
Has caused Adele to get busy already in the central umpire's chair.
My call is in, but let me check. Yeah.
So now a question mark on actually whether the call was correct or not. My gut feel was it was in, but Adele checking.
Ladies and gentlemen, technical issue. The serve was in. Replay the point.
Okay, so he's overruled it now because there's a technical issue. We'll start again.
That was a false start. So here we go. The summer of tennis about to get underway. A good opening point. That's what we can expect. Some good variety.
15 love.
Well, one thing's for sure, they know how to play from the back of the court, these two young men. You know, it's not dissimilar to, for me, when I look at Baez here, the stature of Diego Schwartzman, who has been a wonderful player, just recently retired, doing a bit of work out here for TA, I believe, this summer. And similar type of build and stature and quickness around the back of the court.
Good opening game for Munar, for Team Spain. No nerves there.
But hasn't achieved the heights yet of Schwartzman, really, in terms of ranking.
Thank you.
Or longevity.
We can bring in our man courtside, Josh Eagle, one of the great voices of world tennis, and he has come prepared because he's got an umbrella, he's got a hat, and unlike Adele Noor in the chair, he's well covered up with the sun. It's steamy, Josh. Good morning to you.
It's brutal out here already. The court's quick, it's hot, it's lively. That's what we want. So I think that the pace of the court will play a little quicker given the heat already in the court. But yeah, I think it's a rookie error from Adele up there. He's going to get roasted.
You know, I detected a note of sarcasm and humour in Josh's voice. It's okay for a guy who's so hirsute.
Well, Josh, as you know, he's from the Sunshine Coast and the beach. You look like you're just ready to take a little dip in the beautiful waters there, Josh. You're well set up.
I feel like I'm at home here. This is it's superb weather. It's always a challenge, isn't it, for these international players to come down under, play in such extreme conditions. So this is really going to test the players today on conditions that's just extreme at the moment. So just what they're looking for, though.
I tell you, both of these players, though, come from tough tennis cultures, don't they? They know how to work hard and accept pain when they're on the court, and they do the miles. And certainly you'd think that Argentina and Spain in particular are more used to these conditions than a lot of those Northern Europeans in particular, Northern Hemisphere players. So maybe a bit less of a culture shock in terms of heat for them.
Just wondering, Josh, air-conditioned arena here at RAC. I think he's in a separate conversation. I'll hold that for a moment. Air-conditioned arena, but it does sort of spill down onto the court. Positive start for Munar. There's variety of shot making, aggressive when he feels comfortable in doing so.
He looks in good form to me. I mean, it's only been a snapshot so far of what his summer's going to be, but he's hitting the ball confidently. That was a difficult forehand. This one here, over that high part of the net, to control that, that's one heck of a shot early in the season. Great control. It wouldn't surprise me. I'm unaware of this, but it wouldn't surprise me if Baez has a tennis racket that's a little longer than normal, possibly longer than the regular 27 inches standard length, but something I'm pretty confident his former countryman Diego Schwartzman had. A longer racket gives him a bit more reach.
Excellent point, both players.
Well, I can see Josh Eagle down there giving me the thumbs up, David. This is high quality stuff in like an opening few games.
Oh, it's unbelievable ball striking from both players, and Munar, he's handy on a hard court, and he's just taken a little while to really establish his career, but I think over the last 12 months we saw he played a really good match at the Aussie Open last year. I think he's really suited to a court like this, so I think he'd be very happy with his start here. A breakpoint opportunity.
A variety of shot making already on display.
Yeah, good presence of mind there from Baez. He noticed how deep his opponent was on the court. That was set up by a couple of his previous ground strokes, and he chose the right shot there, the drop shot, even on a big moment. Early days, but I just sense that Munar's the player that's going to have the slight power advantage. He's a bigger athlete, and he's generating a little bit more pace, I think, in the early stages here. But Baez is such a retriever, such a defensive expert. He's hard to put away at any point. So that's the type of shot that Munar probably has a little more scope with than his opponent, but it's a riskier way to play. Like, yes, if he can make that shot time and time again, he'd be favourite probably to win this match from what we've seen so far, but it's fraught with a little more danger. It's good quality so far. So this time he misses it. A backhand down the line over the high part of the net, so there's less room for margin. He makes the one before, which wins him the point, but it's a harder shot to make.
4 winners, 4 unforced errors for Munar. Just to back that up, Fitz, he's a little more of a risk taker, whereas Baez a sponge. Just the 1 winner, just the 1 unforced error. Game point. That's a good game from the Argentine side. 2 break points. Evens it up on the scoreboard at 1 apiece. Josh, I'm just wondering whether the air conditioning here, when we here yesterday and the players were practicing, you could feel the air conditioning down on court level. Is any respite?
None whatsoever. I think, you know, they have the ability to close the roof a little bit throughout the course of the day, which may hold in a little bit of the air conditioning, but no, it's really warm, and that's probably how it should be. And a great start from both players, and leave.
Very low. Game, Team Spain.
So that was an easy service hold for Munar.
For that chair. I wouldn't have been able to get out of it if I'd sunk down into that. Well, I've got a smile on my face already watching this. How quick is he, Baez? As he needs to be. A man of this stature in the modern game has to be lightning fast and great not just acceleration, but the way he read the play there, and he was on the way before those balls came back over his net, over the net to him. You know, so many beauties in this sport, but different statures make a difference. You know, produces different styles of players. Well, he won't miss that too often, Baez. That was a bad miss by his lofty standards. You could tell how nippy he was to get around and with his footwork. Gee, he was quick. And he won't miss that off forehand too often. Standing wide here on the first court. So something a little different, standing wide, making the returner think a little more about where that first serve would go. He unusually went down the middle with it, but it opened up the court. Oh, he's missed another one from that backhand corner.
30-14.
So break point again to the Spaniard here for the second time. First time in this game, but previous service game he had the same opportunity. You know, when you're in position on a tennis court, you have a much higher percentage chance of hitting a good shot. So his footwork and speed here creates an easy backhand put away volley there for Baez. All about foot speed. Good technique, by the way. Wonderful volley.
Advantage Team Argentina. Team Argentina.
So Baez saves another break point.
We practice a lot here, so yeah, we're ready for it, and now let's see what's happening right now.
And you personally coming off a great year last year, you know, a career high ranking, top 50, you know, really looking to build this year as well, I'm sure.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I'm happy for the last year, and of course, like keep going, keep working, and yeah, starting here the year again in Perth, it's really nice. Last year I played amazing matches, and it was good for me to start it like that. So now keep going and keep working.
You fired up? You ready to go?
Yeah, maybe I will see the first set and then I will be ready.
Good. Best of luck.
Thank you so much.
Please.
I think Josh is fired up, ready to go too, David.
Well, it goes without saying when you've got Team USA in your group, the defending champions, headlined by Coco Gauff and Taylor Fritz, that a win here is crucial for both teams, and they're evenly matched. So Jessica Buzas-Minera will take on Solana Sierra in the women's singles, pretty evenly matched as well. That will follow this men's singles, and then the doubles, which mixed doubles can be important for that runner-up position that will go through to the quarterfinals. Complicated algorithm that only mathematicians like you, Fitzy, understand. So we won't get too deep into it now, but sets, games, all become important at the back end of the round robin.
Oh, I need my son and one of my daughters here, the software engineers.
50.
How did that happen when you... I didn't know how to spell algorithm until 2 years ago. But, you know, this is an interesting thing for me. A player like Baez comes... It's interesting. I mean, he's defended so far, had to defend to stay in it. Munar's looked a little more dangerous, a little more capable of creating opportunities. But if you can't put a player like Baez away, you have to maintain a high level to stay with him. Well, he's given him 3 point there, though. So, you know, if you're Munar, you press, you press, you press. You create a few more opportunities, a bit more power. But if you start to miss the odd ball at the wrong time, you can get into trouble against a player of the height and speed of Baez. A couple of big points coming up here. You know, the way to hit winners in this sport is to go down the line a lot more, and you can see Munar there is the player doing that. The more defensive player and the safer shot is back across court. That's where the percentage is. Guess who's going across court more? Baez.
Opportunity for the break, and he takes it. And Sebastian Baez. First break of serve, Team Argentina 3-2. Now the more aggressive of the two early, had the more opportunities, created 3 break points. Baez able to absorb that one opportunity.
If you're going to go there. So Baez with the first opening break.
Well, lies, damn lies and statistics, Fitzy, you can read a lot into them or nothing at all. But Baez, we talked earlier about his winners unforced error ratio of, he only had one of each, and now 7 winners, 7 unforced errors. I kind of have the feeling that he may have realised that I've got to do a little bit more here. And he has. He's taken on a little bit more risk for Baez. Is that a fair observation?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, he's not frightened to go for the shot when the ball presents itself. No doubt about that.
Love 13.
I just think the quickness of his footwork and how fast he is around the court helps him defend, and he's just hard to put away in any point. You really need to earn every point against him. But yeah, certainly he showed us he can come forward. He's got good touch on the volley. Geez, missed a simple one there, though.
14.
That's probably against the trend of his play. Those last two misses.
Perseverance for Munar. Gets the break back. And creating a lot of chances.
Yeah, David, and I've got to say that for me is against, you know, maybe the trend of what his tennis is based around. Baez, that's an unusual poor game from him, because when you play like he does, that's something you've got to eliminate from your repertoire at an early age. And yeah, he just let a weak game come in there. Pretty big serve, that first one, isn't it?
208. Sides. They're going to know about that heat with that much running around. Both players all over the court.
I think their natural way of playing here is to drop shot. They play a lot on clay, both of these young men, and the drop shot on clay is an easier shot than it is on this hard court surface. It bounces high. Both of them, they're probably, certainly the second one from Munar was a mistake. On clay, you can get away with that a little bit more.
There's always talk at the start of the season about the courts and sometimes the balls as well, the speed, but there's a feeling amongst the players around the country that the courts are a little faster than they have been in previous years.
Josh Eagle's a man who picks up those nuances very quickly.
30.
Josh, you've been hearing that the courts are slightly swifter.
Yeah, a little less grit in the courts, they're saying, this season, which it really bodes well, doesn't it, for all-court tennis. And we're sort of seeing the incredible court craft and skill of both of these players, and you can see that they've spent so much time on clay. But I just feel one of these two players has just got to take it on a little more. Not easy to be aggressive because both players pass so well, so you just have to be so, I guess, precise with your approach shots in conditions like this.
Not up.
Good choice there. Look, the culture, Josh, we talked about, of both of these players. They come from countries that are just naturally tough competitors, and they're physical. And gee, this is already a very physical contest. And first one of the year in heat.
Yeah, both incredibly skillful players. I guess they just sort of lack the knockout punch in terms of winning a couple of free points on serve is what the really top players have, especially for Baez. That last service game, he really wasn't able to get any free points. So Munar here with the advantage on serve, but this is crucial here. 3-all, 30-all. Balls are just getting a little heavy out here. The conditions just slowing just before the ball change, which will come into play next game.
40-30. Team Spain.
2-14, a rocket from Munar to close out the game.
Team Spain leads
Team Spain 4-3.
Was Baez, but this will be helpful here. New balls will travel through the air and off the court a little quicker at the moment now.
Love 15.
Here's one for both of you. The ball change, the 7th game, after they've used them in the warm-up, etc. The game has changed so much. That hasn't changed at all. Is there a conversation that's worth having that the balls should change a little more frequently, or is it just part of the game? There you go. Flummoxed you. You're deep in thought on that.
No, I think both tours, the WTA and the ATP, are certainly considering making that change where it's every 7, given that you have a 5-minute warm-up, which is quite a lot of balls hit in that 5-minute warm-up, so that they do start to fluff up. And of course they're worried about injury prevention for the players, so it's very much a topic of discussion that they make it just 7 games right from the start. And I think it'd be a good thing, because the balls are just getting so heavy with how slow a lot of these courts are playing around the world. So I think it'd be a big step in the right direction.
Fitzy?
15.
Well, it's a long discussion because there's so many nuances. You know, that balls are very different around the world. They're from different companies. They have different felt covering on them. They react differently on so many different surfaces. So it's sometimes horses for courses, because in certain conditions balls will fluff up more than others. But I think generally speaking, I've always loved an all-court game of tennis, something that we're seeing a bit here, mainly from the back of the court, but we're seeing players come forward and finish point. It adds to I think the beauty of the vision of watching. So anything that promotes that, I'm in favour of.
40-13.
I don't think you want, you know, and I can't speak for Josh, but I think he's probably alluding to this, where when the balls are so heavy, you know, sometimes it just creates more baseline points that always seem a bit more generic, you know, and they...
Team Argentina.
So there's another tight service game, but he survives 4-all.
Josh, on that subject, how have these balls looked at in the seventh game,
yeah,
sixth and seventh game from down there?
Look, just naturally, given that we're having long rallies and there's heat, that they're really getting bigger, and they fluff up, which adds to the weight and the effort required. So, you know, in that course of that first ball change, which was a good half an hour, the ball goes from being hard and compact to losing a little bit of compression. But it's very tricky, isn't it, Fitzy and Dave, because for people watching at home, a tennis ball plays incredibly different week in, week out. Not just the actual brand of the ball, but the conditions, the humidity, the temperature, the court surface, the strings that the players are using, whether they can be a polyester, which it could be rough, so that grips the ball and makes it even fluff up even more. So there's a lot going on which really does impact the pace of the ball and how it plays.
There's a box of balls that after training down courtside yesterday, Fitzy, and they were conversation here, perhaps.
Okay, can I check the hindrance?
What hindrance?
Every time he's shouting when
no,
I'm hitting?
That's a grunting. That's normal.
I cannot check that?
No. That's normal. Only if I feel like...
But I'm hitting, he's still shouting. Check.
That's okay.
Interesting.
Well, Munar's just quietly saying to the central umpire, look, I feel like I'm being interrupted because Sebastian is making a noise as I'm hitting the ball. That's his question, and he's asked Adele to keep an eye on that, check it, maybe more appropriately keep an ear on it.
15-13.
That was a nice stretch.
15-14.
For a couple of break points, an important moment in this opening set.
Didn't really think there was much wrong with the approach. Maybe not quite close enough to the line, but how's the court coverage there? And how deep he was in the court there to make that shot. That's pretty high quality.
Let's proceed.
That was good play from Baez, who stepped up here at a crucial moment in this opening set. Gets the break. Team Argentina 5-4.
Team Argentina leads 5 games to 4.
reaction from Team Argentina. Sebastian Baez, as he's done once already in this set, getting the break, leading on the scoreboard. The Argentine captain Sebastian Gutierrez, the personal coach Sebastian Baez, up off his seat to issue some instructions. His man's in front on the scoreboard for the second time in this opening set. He's going to serve for that when they return.
Dave, just a quick one, and lastly on the balls. Tennis Australia send every single player who's coming out here this summer boxes of balls, so they are prepared, so they know how the ball's going to play. Of course, it's different conditions where they're coming from, but it's one of the first things a player would do when they come to a new venue, a new site, a new tournament. They would be, the question in the locker room is, how is the ball playing? So these guys should be very familiar with how this ball's played, because they've been practicing with it for the last month, so they should be really ready to go.
Baez serving for the opening set here. I was just saying before Munar came to have the conversation about the noises at the other side of the net, that there was a box of balls on the side you have to practice. And Fitzy, they looked like me after the breakfast buffet this morning. They were bloated. They were big.
Stop. I don't want to think about that. Well, that's a low percentage shot, and he took the risk. Probably a bit more difficult to hit with a newer ball too, by the way. A little less control with the newer ball. And he's giving him 2 free ones, and that hurts from Munar's perspective.
Couple of set points. He broke serve in the 5th game. He lost his next serve to Love, Baez. Better display here for the 2 set points for Team Argentina.
You know, you're a bit of an outlier if you are of this height in the modern men's game of tennis. Little bit of an outlier. There's not many players that are 5'7" in our old language that can be this good to compete with bigger, stronger athletes with longer levers. So he's a talent.
Deuce.
Well, more free points in this game from both players than I think we've almost seen from the whole set.
Well, that took a little bit of heart in the mouth response from Baez. It didn't look from our angle that was going to make it over the net. It sailed just enough.
Yeah, he hit it perfectly, but gee, that was a risk. Just cleared that high part of the net. Well played.
Brings up a 3rd set point. An entertaining first set goes the way of Team Argentina. Short of an hour. 6-4 for Baez.
Love 15.
May see that happen a little bit. He may move forward a bit more. There we go. Something a bit different. If you haven't succeeded with one style of approach, just change it up.
Game, team split.
Urgings of Miguel Sanchez.
Better on the breakfast than on the linguistics.
Yeah. But it was a positive start, so I'm sure that was part of the message.
Let's.
He uses that serve well. That has to be a long racket. I don't want to assume too many things without knowing for sure, but it has to be a long racket to create that margin there for someone of his height. Great kick serve out wide to the second court. He's used it a lot.
We'll send Josh out with a tape measure.
What do you think, Josh? 28 inches instead of 27?
Maybe just half an inch longer, which is pretty standard for a lot of players these days. It just gives you that little bit of extra reach. It gives you more power, whilst you might lose a fraction of control. But pretty common for players. They get their rackets custom made. Yeah, these rackets certainly don't play anything like which you would think if you just rock up to your local tennis club or sports shop. They're weighted, they're balanced, they're slightly longer. They really can do amazing things to spec the rackets up specifically to the needs of each individual player.
Yeah, I thought he was going to compare it to wooden rackets of our vintage, Dave.
I've never seen
your vintage. Let's just clarify.
Waiting for that one, Munar. Good way to react to that kick serve wide, step in a bit more and just smother the spin to a degree.
Let's pass up.
Well, he likes that forehand across, doesn't he? I mean, he can go anywhere with it, but he's certainly created some winners with that one. And quite often that means he's going over the high part of the net, so he's got such control. Look at that. That's interesting. Forehands across court, mainly there. But to create that, you need to move the player to the other side of the court. So you've got to build that opportunity.
Let's pass up. And love 15.
Gee, good overhead. Yeah, nice solid overhead there, good technique. And to control this one across court, this final put away is just a little bit harder for most players. That takes a bit more control to angle the racket in that direction rather than away.
40-15.
There's that big serve again. 214 kilometres an hour. Equal fastest, well placed. Fifth ace for the Spaniard. So back to round out the service game.
Yeah, and that's a facet that was so intuitive. He was clever, and he could work out opponents' weaknesses and strengths straight away.
I love the element of this where you see the coach and the interaction between the two and the way that relationship unfolds.
Well, generally, I just agreed with him because he was normally right.
Slade Hewitt will be the team captain for Australia in action in Sydney.
cunning competitor. Knew how to win. Gee, that was a low percentage shot there from Baez. That was a 30 love shot, I would call that. He was off balance, went for the difficult one down the line. If you're in position, as he normally is with that quick footwork we've talked about, that's an easier shot, but not when you're off balance. Well, he did all the hard work, Baez, there. I was about to say he's gone into lockdown mode. He gave away a couple of free ones from 30 love to get himself back to 30 all. In a bit of trouble, he locked down, he didn't miss, and then all out of nowhere, he missed the easy one. Strange.
So like the first set where Munar had the opportunity early for the break of serve. We've got another one here.
Dropped it too short. Well, he was more animated, wasn't he? Munar there, he elevated his to the same level as his opposition. But he dropped a crucial ball short in the court. Put himself in trouble. Great control on the final volley. I'm always impressed with that. A player that's so good from the back of the court. He comes in, he's so competent when he moves forward. Just took a little bit off that forehand volley, actually. The forward speed. Took no risk.
Let's. Yes.
Well, I don't mind the tactic there from Munar. Something different. Took the second serve, tried to put pressure on. And that can take an opposition by surprise, but that just goes to show the quality of the defensive skills of Baez. Produced an awkward lob there at the end.
Yes. Advantage Team Argentina.
Same type of trend as the first set, where Munar looked like he was a little bit more threatening in the early stages of that first set, as he is here. But if you don't get on the board and get your nose in front, you know, you've thrown everything you've got at the opposition. If it doesn't work, where do you go to? Well, he's a defensive machine, is Baez, but he can also attack.
So saved a break point, as he did early in the first set. Squares it up at 2 apiece in the second set. As you would expect, the rhythm of the match has just slowed down a fraction. Heat starting to have more of an effect as we go past an hour and 15 minutes, hour and 18 to be exact, but rallies a little longer.
And this is a game he needs to be careful. This is the one he lost in the first set. Munar, he tried hard to break early, and at 2-all, his level dropped off slightly. Probably partly due to frustration that he hasn't got ahead here. Gee, what a drop shot. And what court presence.
Yeah, I just think Munar has invested a lot physically in that last return game. Didn't get the results. We saw that in the first set as well. So when you invest so much physically and then you have to come out and hold serve. So this is a problematic time here for Munar, but excellent skills there from Baez. Just so classy with the drop shot.
And then going to something, Josh, that is
not on.
Well, it's not his go-to, is it? He's a bit desperate when you see him serve and volley like that at love 30.
Yeah, and it's just so hard, isn't it, when you know, I just cannot speak loud enough how hot it is courtside. So sometimes your thinking can go out the window and you make irrational decisions, but you just got to try and hang in there as much as you can. And how quickly it's turned here with 3 break points.
(15-14).
Baez first, wasn't able to get the second, and now Baez.
In the first two opposition service games, couldn't, and then loses his serve for 3-2 down. You know, the dart, he's shown signs, Munar, of going down the line more. I'm not sure about how he would always play, but against this opponent, and trying to create opportunities to finish points. Whereas going across court doesn't do anything against Baez. It just allows him to stay in the point. It's the safer option, but he needs to take risk, Munar, and he needs to not miss when he's doing it right now. So that's the low percentage one. He took a risk there, more than normal, but he's got to make it. You can tell, can't you, the body language, he doesn't know quite what to do now. I think Baez would be my worst nightmare to play against. Yeah, so he had to make several balls down the line there to open the quarter.
Yeah, I like that, Fitzy. I think that's the way. He's not going to win all these long rallies, so he has to take some risk on, and you're not going to win every point. So I think that backhand down the line, whilst he's missed a few, if he can just keep Baez pinned into this forehand side here, he might get a few more unforced errors. So I think we need a little more of that from Munar.
He'd be a good coach, Eagle, wouldn't he?
Well, that symmetry continues, because in the opening set, when Baez broke, he lost his next service game to Love. Not quite at that point, but a couple of opportunities here for Munar. Strong play from the Spaniard.
Is this the second set or the first set, David?
No, it's deja vu. He was a very good French player back in the day, deja vu, but it's exactly the same as what we saw in the first set.
You're a funny guy.
I just thought that was a line from a movie, Top Secret.
Slightly, and produced a few unforced errors of his own to let the opponent back in. So back on serve. This match alive and well.
15 love.
That one, 218 kilometres an hour, right out of the middle of the racket. Fastest of the match.
You like a big serve, don't you?
Well, it's part of the beauty of the game to be able to extract that pace from a stationary position.
No, didn't do enough with the approach. I like that mindset, but if you come in against this player, you need to hit it closer to the lines. This is just That's the final one, but he got himself into trouble with the approach. Not like the old days where you could come in on anything, David. The passing shots are too vicious these days. I think paramount that he holds serve here. He's hanging on at the moment, is Munar, and he's given himself a chance again by breaking in the previous game to get back into it. Must hold. Not appreciated that from Munar. A little bit of competitiveness coming into this match here from both players. Baez yelling loudly after winning that point, and Munar didn't appreciate it. Gee, it's just so hard to win points against Baez from the back of the court, unless you can totally overpower him. And he's got plenty of power, has Munar, but maybe not top end like the biggest hitters in the game. But he's still a powerful hitter, but he's struggling to penetrate against this defensive skill.
Baez gets some.
Well, I would suspect that Munar here is right on the edge mentally here, whether he's so frustrated, I think. Yeah, he really has to knuckle down here and make Baez earn this hold. The balls are quite new. Usually supports the server to a degree. Yeah, good choice. You know, intuitive players like this will pick the moment to hit that shot. And we've talked about how it's harder to hit it perfectly on this hard court surface than on clay, but he chooses his moment beautifully. Munar behind the baseline, on the back foot, and just didn't have time to change direction and get in for that. Well, I thought maybe he'd made a mistake there for a second to come in against that forehand. Munar had a chance to run and hit it, but This goes to show his feel and touch. That's beautifully played. That's talent. Take the speed off that ball. Look at the way the racket face went backwards in slow motion.
Baez breaks the string of service breaks, holds his serve, has the finish line inside of.
That's it. Thank you, Miguel. Bye-bye. Let's for serve.
One of his better service games. A couple of times he's held his serve.
Play the bigger moments better than others. And the first point generally sets a tone, doesn't it?
15 love.
He was admirable there, Munar, but couldn't hit the more difficult shot down the line to finish the point. And that's a loose one.
He's just been better, Baez, mentally and I think tactically throughout the course of this match, and you can see the frustration from Munar. It's really beginning to show. I just think he's been very classy, Baez, all match. Really impressive with his temperament.
Got a big match tomorrow night against Taylor Fritz, Sebastian Baez in their second encounter.
Game,
So Sebastian Baez gets the W, opens his 2026 in winning style. Straight set, 6-4, 6-4 for Team Argentina. Just short of 2 hours, the better player when the points were the most important. Was able to challenge Munar under serve on a number of occasions. And as we thought at the beginning, John Fitzgerald, a quality player who shows why he's won those 7 titles, and that was a good win.
Yeah, I think a good performance, but not a bad performance from Munar in his opening stanza for this year. I mean, I thought the quality was, you know, as good as you could expect. And this young man's a tough competitor, isn't he? And those tournaments that he's won on the ATP Tour, they stand for a lot. I'm big on that. I mean, you know, there's a lot of players around that play for a long time who never win an ATP Tour title. They're hard to win. And he's only 25. He's won 7 of them. Yes, and granted, a lot of them are on clay. But he's a quality player. He's hard to beat. He's so defensively skillful that as well as Munar hit the ball for long periods in this match, you need to do it for longer against this opponent.
So Team Argentina get the opening win, and singles to follow. Be a tight encounter. Jessica Buzos Monero and Solana Sierra, who will represent Argentina. Not much between the two in terms of their ranking. So we can go to Josh with our winner, Sebastian Baez.
Sebastian, congratulations. What a great start to the new year. You really won the big moments in this match today. I thought it was a great mental performance from you today.
Yes, for sure. I'm happy to be here to play today. I want to congrats to Jaume because he's playing very well since the last year. So happy to start in this time. Happy to all the crowd. Was amazing. Thank you guys. I really enjoy this moment. Enjoy the time on the court. So happy to win this point for Argentina.
Yeah, you looked very composed and very calm in those big moments, and I know you've had a lot of success, of course, winning 7 titles, none on hard courts, but today you really played a great hard court match.
Well, I'm happy. I'm happy because I'm recovering from some pains and some injuries from the last 2 years. So of course I want more. I know I have more, so I'm so confident, and I believe in my team and in my country, of course.
Well, you've got Team Argentina off to a great start. Personally, really well played. Great stuff.
Thank you so much. Thank you, guys.
So some recovery, no doubt, ahead of that match tomorrow night in Perth, the evening session, 5 p.m. local time, where Team Argentina will take on Team USA, and you would imagine, all things being equal, that his opponent, Taylor Fritz, will be on the other side of the net, as we can take a look at the tail of the tape. Hour and 43 minutes. Unforced error count increased, but John, we sort of made the point halfway through the first set that he became a little bit more aggressive and decided that he needed to win a few more points rather than just rely on his opponents to make the error, and that may have impacted the unforced errors, but he won a lot of the big points.
Yeah, he's got the ability to come forward when he needs to, and he's a versatile player. I think when you look at the winning column there, for a very good Spanish player, he couldn't hit winners against the defensive skill and the quickness of foot that he was playing against today. It was a hard road for him to hit enough good shots, unforced errors. He needed to, you know, force his opponent into making more of those to have a chance to win. So he was just too good today, and based around those defensive skills that allow him his opportunities in tennis matches.
Thank you, John Fitzgerald and Josh Eagle, who was courtside. Team Argentina off to a winning start here. Sebastian Baez the win in straight sets, 6-4, 6-4.